There is a version of this story the world has seen, and then there is the version beneath the surface, the one invisible to the cameras, and the carefully worded statements. Most people only witness the public version, a composed figure standing before a lens, speaking precisely, and appearing almost impossibly strong. They see grace under pressure, courage, and control. They share videos, offer prayers, and write supportive comments. Yet almost nobody has fully grasped the private, layered reality, the emotional and psychological burden behind those calm words and measured expressions, a burden far deeper and more painful than headlines convey. A life of achievement interrupted at 54, she had built a career admired by millions. She navigated a demanding professional environment, raised 2 children, and became a trusted voice on national television. A life of accomplishment, stability, and respect seemed fully realized. And yet, on February 1st, 2026, everything shifted. The home of her mother in Tucson, Arizona, was found empty. Authorities confirmed the unthinkable. An 84-year-old woman had been taken against her will. Suddenly, her world split. There was the public track of composure and careful communication, and a private track of fear, uncertainty, and helplessness. The physical tragedy. The first layer of this tragedy is physical. Her mother is 84 years old and dependent on daily heart medication. Every hour without it increases the risk to her life. The kidnappers did not merely take a person. They took someone whose body cannot safely endure prolonged deprivation. From the first moment of discovery, she understood the stakes. Her mother's health was at immediate risk. Every public appearance, every statement, had to be carefully measured. Behind the composed exterior was an acute awareness of mortality, a constant dread of what could happen if the medical clock ran out. Strength born of expectation. The second layer of this tragedy is less visible but equally painful. She did not arrive at this crisis as a blank slate. From childhood, she was prepared to respond to extreme pressure with performance rather than collapse. Her mother instilled a philosophy: strength is what the world requires, vulnerability is private, and weakness is punished. The daughter she raised was trained to meet expectations, not to flinch or falter. The result is someone who can function at extraordinary levels even while experiencing immense fear and sorrow. Yet this ability, forged through love and expectation, comes with its own hidden cost. Love through standards. Her mother's love was fierce and unambiguous, yet expressed through standards and expectations rather than comfort alone. This love created a hunger within her, a need to be enough, not only in the eyes of the world, but to the person who mattered most. Professional success, public admiration, and personal achievements could not answer this question. Decades of accomplishment could not quiet the longing for simple, unconditional reassurance. The deepest, quietest pain arises from the absence of validation from the very person whose love shaped her life from the beginning. The question she carries. Throughout her life, she has asked a single haunting question: am I enough? Not for colleagues, viewers, or friends, but for the woman who gave her the principles she has lived by. This question has persisted across decades, in triumph and crisis alike. Even now, in the midst of a national emergency, she continues to seek that affirmation. This is not a reflection of her mother's love, which was genuine and intense. It is instead a quiet tragedy, the type that does not generate headlines because it resides deep within, in a place unreachable by public admiration or applause. Performing through crisis. Her ability to function publicly during this crisis is remarkable. She manages interviews, statements, and media appearances while knowing the worst may be happening behind the scenes. The public sees composure, the private reality is anxiety, dread, and the constant ticking of time against her mother's health. This dual existence, the public performer and the private daughter, illustrates the profound difficulty of living through a tragedy under the national gaze. It highlights the tension between outward strength and inward vulnerability, a tension that has defined her entire life and now intensifies in this moment of crisis. The legacy of preparation. Her mother's influence shaped not just her professional abilities, but her emotional conditioning. She learned early that survival in the world requires discipline, strength, and control. This preparation allowed her to withstand extreme pressure, but left her unpracticed in receiving comfort or reassurance. The very tools that made her extraordinary in public created a private void, one that cannot be filled by accolades or admiration. The ultimate gift she longs for is not instruction, guidance, or another expectation of strength. It is a simple declaration of unconditional love. The gift she needs. The greatest gift now would be 3 words, unburdened by any performance: I love you. Not as praise for achievement, composure, or bravery, but as acknowledgement of her being, just because she exists, just because she has always been enough. The tragedy is that the only person who can deliver this message is the one who is absent, the one taken from her home, the one whose presence would finally answer a lifetime of questions. Until that moment, the ache remains. Public strength masking private longing, achievement masking unfulfilled emotional needs. The deepest layer of pain. The tragedy extends beyond the immediate danger or public scrutiny. It is the quiet, invisible pain of seeking validation from the very person who gave life its guiding principles, only to find them missing at the time of greatest need. Her accomplishments, her resilience, and her composure cannot substitute for the simple assurance she has craved for decades. That absence, that delay in affirmation, magnifies the suffering. It is a pain that viewers cannot measure, a crisis that cameras cannot capture, a sorrow that exists in private while the world watches her face and admires her poise. A call for reunion. The public crisis underscores an intimate, private need. Bringing her mother home safely is not just about resolving a crime. It is about restoring the possibility of emotional closure. It is about hearing the words that have been long awaited. You are enough. You always have been. You never had to prove anything. That is the deepest hope, the ultimate resolution, the final layer of this multidimensional tragedy. Until that reunion, the world witnesses strength. While the heart endures an ache, only a mother's unconditional love can soothe. Conclusion. Enough. Always. This story is not only about a missing mother or a public figure navigating a national crisis. It is about the human need for reassurance, the quiet tragedy of love expressed through expectation, and the lifelong search for affirmation from those who shaped us. Strength can impress a nation, yet it does not fill the absence of the simplest emotional truths. When she hears those words, she will finally know what she has long sought, that she is enough, as she has always been, and that love requires nothing more than being herself.